happening, everybody? My name's Seven and welcome to today's video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a couple of basic building tips that will just help you build faster, destroy things faster, and just genuinely learn a little bit more about building. And this can all be used very well in Battle Royale to stay alive that little bit longer and maybe even get the win. Stepping into the first tip, and this is all about how to destroy objects much faster. Now as you can see here, I'm hitting a blue marker that is on this tree. So every time I use the pickaxe to destroy an item, everywhere wherever you hit it, there will be a blue marker that will appear. Now you don't have to hit this, but if you want to destroy items faster, you're best off hitting it. Now a lot of people neglect this. I've seen a lot of my friends not even use it, but then once I told them that it helps them destroy items much faster, they pretty much go for it and hit it every single time. Now I am doing this much slower for you just so to give you an example, but I can do this a lot quicker by just holding down the destruction button and then obviously just literally moving one to the next blue, to the next blue, to the next blue, and so on. So any destructible item will actually have this blue marker and it'll allow you to destroy it way faster. I think it does like around 100 damage compared to maybe like 25-50. So especially for those larger objects like going for crates and stones etc with large healths, you need to use this blue marker. Now for anyone new to the game, you might be asking, what's the best material, how do we build things, etc. And now the first thing you want to do is learn the basics. The basics are wood, brick and metal. Now as you can imagine, which one is the hardest is of course metal, then it's brick second place, and then wood being the weakest. Now we can collect all these items with ease by just going around the map and actually just hitting up certain items. So for example, to get metal you want to destroy vehicles, you want to destroy brick walls to get brick, you want to destroy trees to get wood. But the idea is that we're looking at the health. Now for a wooden wall you get about 200 actual health, and then for brick you get 300. As you can see, I'm going through this and destroying it much faster. And then for metal, which takes a little bit longer, you actually have 400. So of course we can see this from the stats on screen that the metal is much better. It's as double as strong as wood, but of course it's not as easy to get as something like wood, because with metal you're going to have to go to buildings and cars and populated areas where there's going to be a lot of players in Battle Royale. But if you can get a lot of metal, then you are going to be laughing because your structure is going to be a lot harder. Now as you can see from here, they obviously take different times to build, and they also can be destroyed much quicker without using the pickaxe with a shotgun or a assault rifle say. And a lot of people use rocket launchers just to destroy your structures. So as you can see here, for an example, we're destroying the life out of these. And even with a metal shield as a wall, the wall doesn't last very long against weapons. So bear in mind which is the strongest. Always go for metal if you possibly can. Here's an example of me in a gunfight using a wooden wall as an actual shield. It didn't last very long at all. My enemy took it down. Thankfully there was a car in the vicinity. I was able to use this as a way to kind of give myself a bit of cover, and then I did end up winning the gunfight. But if it wasn't for the fact that using that shield, I would have definitely still taken more damage, even though it was only wood. Taking a look at number 3. Now this is about how much you're going to need to keep as a backup in the sense for repairing, because repairing walls is going to be very important, especially when you're in those heated situations where somebody isn't firing a rocket launcher, they're just maybe firing like assault rifle rounds at you, and you're not actually going to lose your walls insanely quickly compared to like a rocket launcher that would instantly destroy them. Now as you can see from this, I'm doing testers and it'll say on the right side repair, and it shows how many we actually need, how many resources we need to repair one individual wall. Now what I learned was between walls, stairs and triangles, it was no more than 7 that we needed to repair one item. So at one time, no matter how many walls you place down, you must consider the fact that you need a backup of that resource if you want to repair the walls. Now on Xbox, it's simply just pressing the right analog in and that will repair the wall as long as you actually have the resources. And I did prove here, even with the stairs it went up to 7 on brick, and then on metal it's the same again, it's 7, but you can also get down to 6, and there is sometimes less depending on how many bits of damage points have been done, but ultimately you need about 6 or 7 extra resources per panel. So this next part is going to be all about how you can destroy buildings faster. Now this could be an actual building itself, and I'll give you an example of a building that I've done this with, or it could be a personal structure of your own, or it could be a structure of one of your enemies. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a pair of stairs, because these are very common, everyone always places these down, with a couple of platforms. Now of course these platforms are completely reliant upon the stairs that we're standing on. Now logically, if you take away the stairs, they will then destroy. So say for example, I see some players doing this. They're trying to take out one platform at a time, and it just doesn't do enough because you're gonna have to destroy all 4, then destroy the stairs. We got a player coming. We have to kill the player before we can proceed. This is the type of stuff that you're gonna experience when you're playing Battle Royale. Why is he not dead? Kill him! Kill him already! There we go, he's dead. Right, sweet. Thank you for interrupting our tutorial. So what you want to do is destroy the base object, the thing that is attaching the entire structure to the floor, and when you do, the entire structure will demolish. So that's the fastest way to destroy items, and here is an example with a house. So I took all the walls out of this house, left one wall hanging. Now of course this is physically impossible, but at least when we destroy every piece of structure attached to the ground, everything else does vanish. As you can see here, the entire house, gone. Vanished. Now this part of the tutorial is going to be a little bit longer than the rest because I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So here's me building a long stairwell up to the heavens. It's a technique you see a lot of people using, and this is just for me because I wanted to get into the zone but also wanted to have a good look at over what was going on in the actual next zone itself. But this isn't what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about rotation and how it can save your life in building situations like the one I'm right in right now. Now a lot of people get in the situation and think, right, I'm going to have to run back and I'm going to have to go all the way back down my stairs. Now I personally did this so that my stairs, the bottom section of them, was actually outside of the zone. As you can see on the map right there, I'm literally on the border. So I have no choice but to push forwards. By the way, after this tip, I've also got a bonus tip for you all, just about how to build creative items a little bit faster as well. So as you can see, I'm building lots of platforms, building out of a base, and I know eventually I'm looking at my resources, I'm going to run out of resources, and I'm not going to be able to have enough to get back down to the ground. Now if I fall from this height, I will die, and now there's only 8 players alive, so if I do this, it's a waste. What you want to do is use the rotation. Now rotation will help you a lot. As you can see here from this high point, I've rotated a pair of stairs and been able to build downwards, and now this is literally just no problem at all. I can build, and as items are building, as long as you placed it, you'll be able to walk over the top of it. As you can see, I'm stepping over this even though each of the panels isn't fully built, because every time you instantly place it down, it already starts at like 100% like being built, or like 100 health being built, and then the rest is then designed afterwards. So there we go, we made it down from the stairwell with ease simply because I used the rotation. Now here's a couple of examples of it being used a little bit better. Now you can use this to build more complex structures. Of course you can do this with every different material type and every different shape. So we can see we can build these walls, and we can, if we had a different material, we can rotate. Now you can see the difference in the design slightly. It rotates it, but with a wall it doesn't really make that much of a difference because it's just a wall. But with a pair of stairs we can then build more complex roofs, we can build extra layers. So you can, as you can see here, naturally the stairwell wants to go in the same direction you just done. With the rotation, I'm able to turn it on itself and build a small little pyramid section like this. Now this is a technique you can use also for roofs. It's very, very useful for a roof because you can build long tunnels just like this itself. Now we can also rotate floors like I said before, but it doesn't make too much of a difference other than the pattern that you can see, the way that the actual wood moves, but it isn't really that much of a difference. All you want to do after this is, honestly, I would say learn to use the rotation tool so that you can build pyramids, vertical walls, because vertical walls are going to help you a lot as well when actually fighting against enemies. The simple reason for this is that it gives you an advantage. The enemy cannot see over the top of the wall as long as you're on the actual slant, as you can see there. But with you can like peek and use the third person to kind of look over the top of it. All you need to do is make sure that the base item attaching to everything that you design is still attached to the floor. Then it makes your item a lot stronger, and it makes it very hard to be eradicated. I had 3 items attached in this one small line across the actual top here. So basically having more items attached to the ground makes your structure a lot more sturdy. Now I've got a bonus tip for you all, and this is very, very basic. So what happens is when you go into edit mode with an item, you can make different patterns, and now these different patterns design slightly different objects. I will break these down and probably do another video if you're interested in that. But as I learned recently, that you could take out each of the individual panels just like this, but as you can see the process of building is pretty slow. It's not very quick at all. So it'll build like low walls, high walls, windows, etc. What you want to actually do is, instead of individually just pressing the actual button to take away one of the squares, what you can do is hold in the button that selects and just hold it and move your cursor around. As you can see, I can build so much faster and design the patterns that I want with ease. Instead of just going tap, 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 I can actually hold it down and wipe out and then build short walls, build windows and so on. And in a heated situation in Battle Royale, this is what you need. If you can't build quickly, you're going to have some problems. So definitely practice editing designs, especially where you want something like a window on top of a tower. You know, it definitely will help you out, and that's why it's today's bonus tip. I hope that these tips have helped you out, especially if you're brand new to the game itself. I look forward to speaking to you all in the comment section below, and of course creating more content for you in the near future. My name's Beat7, also known as Martin Lee Wood. Like and comment on all that you love. Peace.